everybody, my name is Jessica Holyfield. I'm a professional dancer, professional dance choreographer, and dance educator based out of the southeast of the United States. And we're looking at the dance rank mission from Street Woman Fighters Season 1. Now, it's been a struggle finding these videos because certain parts of the challenges just were never aired. Like, they're not as extensively aired as the excerpts from this season are, so I had to dig a lot more. But with the leader one, I was able to get not only the final four, and I don't really remember who those final four are. I got the full cam, so I'm able to watch all 8. I'm very excited about it. So we're gonna, I think out of all the things, we're able to really take a look at it, and I'm very excited. So let's go ahead and get into it. Wow, my dancer in all white. She is demolishing this choreo. Fun. Wow. 3, 2, 1, 0. Yeah, Hyojin's doing great on that too, and then my dancer right here with the fro. Like, oh, Aiki totally gave up. She's forgetting it right here too. Wow. Oh, we forgot it right here. Wow. Okay, so let's go back. Here's who I would pick out of everybody. I would pick my dancer right here. Now, this is who I would pick right there. 100%. She would be top 2 for me. I would say her and Hyojin Choi. Those would be my 2 I would pick in the finals, but I would say ultimately she was really one of the only ones who really made that look like her own. Now, I don't recognize, I don't know who actually, like, I know the name of who made it, but I don't know which one of these dancers is her. Does that make sense? Like, I know a couple of them are not her, you know. I would say, like, this isn't her because that's Hyojin Choi. I don't believe it's her, and it's not her. It could be her, maybe. And then the names are so blurry, so, I mean, I'm not, like, super familiar, like, with the names of the faces yet, except for a couple of them. But let's take a little slow it down right here. So we know that Aiki did not get the main dancer for this because she didn't even really do it. Just watch. Like, she engaged with that bass there in the very beginning to kind of subtly catch your attention. That reverb, boom, like that's really important to have. I would say my other dancer over here in the red hat, she did a great job of that too. Wow, full screen. Yeah, the da-da-da-da, like you could hear everything, and then just, like, look, she's the only one that's actually using the chest here. Everybody else is, well, actually, I would say my dancer in blue is also doing it too, but I feel like it's just a tad bit more disconnected. Like, she's keeping it really big here, but she's not showing depth in the torso like my other dancer here is. Yeah, well, actually looking at this a lot slower, she's keeping up really well with her, but I still think she is top grade in this combo in this round. Yeah. So, like, forever you lady, like, that's really, I like the choreo for this. This is really fun. Yeah, so I would say that my dancer in blue, there's just a couple moments where she starts a little too early, like da-da-da, like she prepped a little too early. She prepped on, like, the true count, it felt like the natural breaths of the song, like, it felt like she was hitting it there. And then my dancers here, like, she really hit that part really loud. And then for me, I feel like she's just kind of going through the motions and doing the choreo. She's not going as deep. These two weren't going nearly as deep in this beginning. They were kind of isolating it to the shoulders and keeping the body pretty stiff, which makes it not look so full. Like, you got to use your body to make this kind of movement a lot more full. Yeah, so I would say, but she's having some really nice moments too. Like that, those are some good moments she's having. Yeah, like the boom, 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 like that kind of throw was really nice. I love that. Yeah. Yeah, so these two especially, like, these two are really holding it down, but like she really caught my attention mad early. Yeah. So I would say, if we're picking a top 4, which once again, I don't know who the top 4 are, it would be my dancer in blue and my dancer in all white with the Brooklyn. So those would be my 2 that would be in the final for sure. But my vote as of right now, I gotta watch the second video. I'll see how she holds like with the 4 of them, or if whoever the 4 are. Okay, so before we even start, we know unfortunately she eliminated herself because she walked away. She forgot the choreo. Hyojin Choi really stood out to me just from that initial, and that does matter. Sometimes when you are doing an audition, you want to stand out. I would say everybody in this group, she completely forgot, so she removed herself. She made a lot of mistakes, and she also made some mistakes, but she covered it up well, but you could tell she was looking at Hyojin. Hyojin was the only one I feel like actually did the choreo to its fullest extent in this group. So honestly, I'd pick a top 3, but if I were to pick 4 as of right now, I would pick these 2 with my blue and my white. Those would be my 4 I would pick, but I don't know. Let's take a look. I like that these 2, that's another thing, I really like that these 2 are already showcasing with their face. It shows that you're in it and you want us to be in it with you. And reverb. Yeah, I love the reverb here. These 2 are doing great. It was really nice. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, that was really clear. Da 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 da. Like really seeing that wrist roll coming from Hyojin Choi was really nice. Yeah, so it's seeing that da 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 da, like having the depth or like the shifts was really cool here. I will say, this is my note though, if you do make a mistake in audition, please try to push through. I think something that judges or people who evaluate, I've evaluated people, but in this context, not in the show, but like let's say conventions, at a convention, if you don't keep pushing through, that also like kind of signifies your, what is it? I'm only speaking about conventions, so here they could have viewed it something different, but I know at conventions, if they see a dancer just like give up halfway, it shows that you don't have any grit or perseverance to push through, even when you feel like you're kind of against the grain. Because here's the deal, yeah, she went a little bit ahead, but could she have really tried to fight and catch back up? I think so, and there would have been something to speak for that. So I think that was, I really wish she would have pushed through, but also I don't know the context of where she was in headspace with the piece, so that could have been what she needed to do at that moment, which is respectable as well. I just feel like there's a lot of details with the hands and the wrists and the elbows that Hyojin is hitting that my dancer over here is not, and I think that's why you're able to see her a lot more clearly. Yeah, like there's a difference between like doing movement and then like doing the movement like you're dancing, right? It's like doing movement because it's the choreo, and then really actually investing you as an artist into it. It makes it look more personalized, right? You want the choreo to look like yours. If you want to be a main dancer, you got to make it look like it's yours. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, even that do 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 pom pom, like you're about to pop off. I will say my dancer here, I feel like, and can't recognize because it's so blurry, so I'm sorry about that. I just feel like she's really keeping it a bit, like she's not really letting the body invest in the base of the movement. So that's just my big note for her, is that she's doing the movement, but she's keeping it so locked up in the torso that you're not seeing any of this involved in the lower half, so it feels too isolated, I think is my point. You know, hit. I've been here, and she made a pretty big mistake there where she was just going a completely different opposite way. But I'm glad that she kept pushing. That's my note. She's still pushing. She's holding it down. She's trying her best. So I'd say very commendable for that. Like, Ike just came back on stage. I mean, I kind of wish that she just I mean, I don't know. Like, I really wish she kept going. But, you know, it is what it is. Okay, let me go back at this end. Is this the actual choreo? This ending? Okay. Da-da-da-da, have it. Boom. So then my dancer in the white and khakis right here, she also made a pretty big mistake compared to these two. The only person who didn't was Hyojin. So if we're going off of mistakes, I would say in this group, Hyojin Choi is the only one who didn't really make one, and then my two dancers right here. Yeah, these two are the ones. So I would actually just pick 3. I wouldn't feel like the need to pick 4, but I know they probably picked 4. I don't know who they are. We'll see. But yeah, all in all, I really like the choreo. I really like how they did it. And let's just go ahead. Let's get into who ends up taking it. 3, 2, okay. 1. Okay. Just watch. All right, I got 3 of them. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, I be a woman. Yes, I be a baby. Yes, I be whatever that you tell me when you're ready. Yes, I be your girl, forever your lady. You ain't never gotta worry. I'm down for you, baby. Best believe that.
Woo!
I'll provide that. You will always have it. I'll be on deck. Keep it in check. When you need that, I'ma let you have it. Tell my drum like don't diddy day.
Wow. Okay. Okay, let's take a look at that again. All right. So, I don't know. Okay, who are these people? Okay, Gabby. I'm assuming this is Gabby. Nose. Lee Jung. Honey J. If they're going in the order of like who we're seeing them, that would be my assumption. So, I know that Nose was the one who took it. So, I'm assuming she's the one who ended up taking it. Yeah, let me see. Lee Jung. Yeah. So that's Lee Jung. I'm assuming this is Nose. All right. Let's have a little look-see here. Now, this is like the focus of all 4, so it's going to take me a second to kind of collect my thoughts. Man, oh man, oh man. This was really fun. Super fun. Wow, she's just going for it. Wait, I don't think I saw her in the 8, or maybe I did and she just didn't have her the black jacket on. I don't know, maybe, or was she in the group? Oh, did she get picked more than Hyojin? That's interesting. Okay, so I did call these 3. I think it's interesting that she got picked over Hyojin, if I did see her, because I think did she make a mistake? I don't know. I think they both did, but Hyojin didn't. Anyway, it's a complete side note. It's not important here in this moment, but I love that she's walking forward. They're approaching. They're taking that approach. Yeah. She is just killer to me. Honestly, like, if I had to pick. Okay, looking here, I would say Nose was very clear in her movement, but if you're looking for presence, Lee Jung is killing it for me. Yeah. Yeah, I would say like when it just comes to posture, it comes to the presence. I just threw that. I'm so sorry. Presence, it comes to like the energy of the song. I really feel like Lee Jung really delivered on that. Like, I don't know who originally choreographed this. I don't know if it was Nose who originally choreographed it and then they kept it the same or what. I haven't seen the concept video yet. But I do like Nose's choices, you know, but remember when I initially watched the very first time, Lee Jung really caught my attention a lot faster because she was engaged in it way before everybody else was. And I think that's a really big thing, an important thing to note. So, but I would say Nose is very clear. Yeah. And honestly, with my outside, it's just like everybody here is doing a really good job, you know. I think it's just up to preference, but look how like Lee Jung and Nose did the same thing in the feet. Like you can notice that. Like I think she did something different over here. That was Honey J, right? Honey J did something different. Like watch. Okay. Oh no, her foot just got cut off. My apologies. So, but yeah, just notice like, well, I would say like there's moments where Nose goes a little bit deeper than Lee Jung does, but Lee Jung protrudes out her power a little bit more. And I would say like you can just tell with the side by side, this is really fun. Like she goes the same amount of depth as she does, but she goes the same amount of power as she does. And they're in opposition, and they're in the same group, and they're in the same group. So that's like really cool to see that kind of opposition. I will say this, because I know Emma and Moana won their dance rank, and they were so freaking full with the choreo. I'm curious why they didn't pick Lee Jung of this one, because she went full out with her choreo too. And when you think about the kind of song it is, it makes sense why like they like the fullness that she chose. Like it makes sense to me, and it doesn't feel like it's overpowering the song either. You know what I mean? Now, do I feel like maybe they thought it was overpowering? Possibly. I think that's just a preference thing, honestly. And remember, I didn't judge this. I'm just giving my feedback, my opinion. Yeah, so I would feel like if you're looking, it's, I don't know. Like, I understand why they picked her, but would I have personally picked her as a judge? I would have picked Lee Jung over Nose, personally. But honestly, I don't know what the logistics of this challenge was. We're just taking just one more look at this. Yeah, I just think like, I mean, this is the time to take risks. Also note too, this was like the first Street Woman Fighter before Street Man and before all of that, you know. I don't know if Street Girl Fighter was released before this one. I don't know. But as a side note, I think though that, you know, if you're going to be a main dancer, be a main dancer. So they made some good choices here to really try to captivate. Yeah, I even think there's something really interesting about how she grips the head versus letting it drape over. I normally don't see people grip the head. Normally it's just a drape over. So I think that's just a really small note that I just noticed that Nose did. Yeah, boom, and then normally you bleed it down, but she went here and then crawled it down. I mean, it's so subtle and it doesn't... Yeah, let me just take a look here. Okay, I will say Nose, she actually went really full in her arms and then brought them back, whereas not really anybody else like had fullness of their range there. Let me just take a look back at that. So you're here? Yeah, so it's like, yes, it'd be. So she like brought it all the way down, she didn't stop it. So I will say like her range is very long and full. Like she's very complete in her movements. And I think that's something that Lee Jung, her presence is really strong, which helps cover up some of those things, you know, because of what I've already mentioned. Yeah. Yeah, that best believe that like that. I think it makes sense. Now I'm like really looking at it, like I feel like I have to play. I normally don't have to play things like twice, but I really feel like I need to for this one. Yeah, so when I'm really looking, all four bring something really nice to the table. I will say though, the only two that I noticed that didn't make mistakes the first time were these two. You know, Hyojin Choi, of course, as well, but like these two really brought it. Lee Jung especially brought it first round, and I mean, her presence was great, but she made a very notable mistake. And the fact that I can't remember, did she go in group 2? Because I don't think she was wearing this whenever we saw her in group, you know, like from the first group. Yeah. Yeah, so I would say like everyone did a very good job, held their own. So that's my overall note about this, I think, is that that's who I would have picked out of everybody. I would have picked Lee Jung, but Nose, I think it makes sense why they picked her too. And honestly, if she was the one who choreographed it as well, I can understand that too, why they may have picked her, because once again, I don't know. But then going back to the rookie group of the second season, I noticed that wasn't there somebody from Lady Bounce who choreographed it, but the dancer from Super Kill took the dancer spot, even though, I mean, for me, I still personally prefer the dancer from Lady Bounce's movement quality of her choreo over the Super Kill dancer, but also at the same time, at the end of the day, it's mad impressive that they're all able to do it, and it looks great, you know what I'm saying? So that's my overall note. I'm glad I was able to watch multiple, like, you know, the whole uncuts and cuts of this. I mean, it's been so hard to find them, but yeah, I'm glad I was able to actually get through and watch this. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope I was helpful in some way. I'm so sorry I'm not able to, with all the dance rank missions, be able to provide all of the full cams like I've been able to with the other season. But you know, I feel like that's something that Mnet added a little bit later, and I'm just not able to get access to it where I am. And I did try to dig a little bit, but you know, you win some, you lose some, and that's okay. And I've really enjoyed this season so far and these battles, and I can't wait to just keep going through the missions and K-pop and Mega and all that, and be able to experience it with y'all. So, but I will check you on the flip side. Bye guys.